let's talk about something that's a massive part of being human, but, it's often the hardest thing to actually talk about, our mental health. We're going to start with the feeling I bet you've had, and then zoom way out to see the much bigger story it's a part of. So let's just start right there. I mean, really think about it for a second. Have you ever felt this way? That feeling of being totally swamped, where everything just feels like it's just too much. If you're a student, oh man, this feeling can feel like your shadow. You're not just cramming for exams, you're trying to figure out who you are, where you fit in, and what your entire future is supposed to look like. It's like a tidal wave of pressure coming at you all at once. But here's the thing. That feeling, that sense of being completely overwhelmed, it's more than just having a bad day. It's actually a signal. It's a signpost pointing to the much bigger and way more important world of our mental health. And this is where we hit a real wall. So many people, not just students, feel this anxiety, but they struggle in silence. And why? Well, it's because of stigma. This deep-rooted fear of being judged for struggling. It's an incredibly powerful force, and it's something we really have to understand. So, yeah, we started with students, but let's be really clear, this is not just their story, not by a long shot. That specific pressure cooker situation is just a perfect example of a challenge that is fundamentally human. It's a story that's about every single one of us. The World Health Organization has such a powerful way of looking at this. They don't frame mental health as just, the absence of illness. They see it as a state of thriving. It's about having the resilience to handle whatever life throws at you, having the energy to chase your goals, and being able to connect with others and be part of a community. And the scale of this is, well, it's just staggering. Almost 1 billion people. That feeling of being overwhelmed, it is not some isolated personal failure. It is a shared global reality. So if you've ever felt alone in your struggle, just look at this number. You are part of a massive global community. So if this experience is so common, so incredibly widespread, why is it still so ridiculously hard to talk about? What is this invisible wall that keeps so many of us from asking for help? Well, it all comes down to one single powerful word: stigma. Think of stigma like an invisible cage. It's built from generations of fear and misinformation and judgment. It's that little voice in your head that tells you to hide your struggles, to just pretend everything is okay when it's really not. And it is the single biggest reason people don't get the help they need and absolutely deserve. And this cage, it kind of has 3 main bars. First, there's public stigma. That's the fear of what other people will think about us. Then you've got structural stigma, which is when those bad attitudes get baked right into our systems, our laws, our company policies. And then, maybe the most painful one of all is self-stigma. That's when we start to believe those negative messages and turn them against ourselves. So how do we even start to break down this cage? Well, it starts with something that sounds so simple but is actually revolutionary. It's okay to not be okay. This isn't just some catchy phrase, it is a declaration. It's permission to be human, to be vulnerable, and to finally understand that our struggles do not define our worth. All right, so once we give ourselves that permission, what's next? This is where we flip the script entirely. We stop thinking about fixing something that's broken. Instead, we start actively building our mental fitness, day in and day out, just like we would build our physical strength at the gym. And here is a fantastic place to start. Think of these 5 C's as your personal toolkit for mental fitness. They're simple, they're super powerful, and they're all things we can start practicing right now. Care, connection, courage, compassion, and consistency. These are like the core exercises for a strong, resilient mind. And we can keep adding to that toolkit. Things like physical exercise, getting healthy sleep, connecting with people we care about. We tend to think of these as things we do for our bodies, but they are absolutely essential for our minds. The brain and the body aren't 2 separate systems. They're one. You can't truly take care of one without taking care of the other. Okay, so when we put all of these pieces together, the huge scale of the issue, the barrier of stigma, and the tools for fitness, what do we see? We see that we need a whole new way of thinking about what it even means to be well. This right here, this is the journey. We're moving away from an old, reactive, isolating view of mental health, and we're moving towards something that's proactive, it's positive, and it's shared. It's not about waiting for a crisis to fix a problem. It's about building a foundation of strength and well-being every single day. It's not a private shame. It's a shared human experience. And that leaves us with probably the most important question of all. Forget about tomorrow or next week.
What is one small thing you can do for your mental fitness right now, today? Because that journey to well being, it always begins with just a single step.